All right, I would like to call the meeting to order for the Nisswa Planning Commission Board of Adjustment for Tuesday, February 3rd, 5 p.m. Roll call, please.
Sean Weldon,
Josh Young.
Gary Harris.
Maggie Wentler.
Stephen Timblin.
Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
There are none.
Being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Next, to approve the meeting minutes for, this is a long one. September 2nd, 2025, September 12th, 2025, October 7th, 2025, special meeting, October 7th, 2025, regular meeting, November 4th, 2025, regular meeting, December 2nd, 2025, regular meeting, and January 6th, 2026, regular meeting.
These have to be approved individually.
Might be good to approve them separately. Any
There's a-
considerations of one way or the other?
Group it.
Technically, I will say doesn't matter, but if there was changes you saw to one, then I would probably just making motions for each one individually.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, are there any corrections or deletions?
No.
Being none, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Sorry, on the one for the last month, my last name was spelled wrong.
Well, yeah,
Thank you.
we'll correct that. We saw that.
You better.
Now we have to do them individually.
No, we
No.
don't, not for name correction. No.
Okay.
I'll,
Karen, you
I'll,
passed the test.
I'll move, we approve the minutes of September 2nd, September 12th, October 7th, special and regular meetings, November 4th, regular meeting, December 2nd, regular meeting, January 6th, regular meeting, all in 2025. Oh, January 6th is 2026.
Second,
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Next item is an open forum. Is there anyone present tonight that would like to speak towards something not on the agenda this evening? Hearing none, I'll move on. Moving on to public hearings, I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
so second,
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. First item is conditional use application 004-26, seeking a conditional use permit to operate a clinic within the Highway Business Zoning District. Subject property is located at to be determined Smiley Road in Nisswa. PID 282-30559, 282-30560, 282-30561. Owner applicant Schaefer's of Nisswa and Danielle Paulson from Pope Design Group. Is Danielle or a representative here?
We do have Danielle and Don Roll from
Okay.
Pope Design Group online with us here.
All right, Stephen, your staff report.
Thank you. So coming before us is a conditional use permit application to provide tenant improvements inside of a structure that was previously approved last year in 2025 for the Spirits of Nisswa addition. The proposed use in units 3 and 4 of this structure is for a clinic to be on set for establishment, which is processed as a conditional use permit in the zoning district highway business. This use is compatible with the surrounding uses and zoning designation with separate routing and service delivery for service and delivery and patients and visitors. The tenant improvement proposes use of the contiguous units number 3 and number 4 within the expansion project. One question that I had for the applicant in regards to that is that units 3 and 4 thence from Spirits of Nisswa, or would that be establishing inside of the 2nd and 3rd units away? Open for anybody to weigh in on 3rd and 4th. So Spirits, then unit 1, then unit 2, then these 2. Thank you, Andy. This is proposed to be a same-day outpatient clinic with no inpatient services or overnight stays proposed. The floor plan layout depicts roughly 5,000 square feet and 11 exam rooms with additional services such as lab or x-ray. This commercially zoned property does have a neighboring property that is zoned residential to the east. That was also discussed at the CUP for the expansion project. Just a note that screening requirements between this use and adjacent residentially zoned properties is a requirement between those two uses. There would be no new parking or parking proposed beyond the parking lot improvements approved by the variance in 2025. The parking for this use is to be shared with the other tenants. The hours of operation would be to be designated by the applicant. Would anybody here present tonight have any idea what that standard operating hours would look like? And then if you could come up to either the desk or the podium here.
One feels hotter than that one.
It's better to sit down, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, good evening, everybody, and thanks for having us. My name is Matt Kraus. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at CRMC. Hours, is that what you're looking for?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're dialing that in, but I'd say, pretty standard business hours here, typically 8 to 5 range with some hours on the weekend as well.
Thank you. Outside of these things that we're talking about here from staff level, I don't have much to weigh in on, as this is a tenant improvement as opposed to as a new build out or an expansion of property and usage. This will just be a use within, again, those units number 3 and 4 within the expansion project. Happy to take and field any questions that you may have for city staff this time as well.
If you'd like to make public comment regarding this project, this is your opportunity. Okay. Hearing none, I'll close public comments. Commissioner member comments.
I think the addition of the clinic to the city of Nisswa is gonna be a good thing. It's something that you're first on the plate, so that's a good thing. I only have one curiosity, and that's why, looking at the plans, you show phase 1, phase 2. Phase 2 is very small compared to phase 1. I'm just wondering why you would do that, but just curiosity.
I think the reality is initially when we started to plan it, with Don and Danielle here, we thought we'd do about half of it. But the reality is when you start doing it, half of it really isn't half of it. So if you think about exam rooms, that's kind of how we think about it. We're gonna start with about 6 exam rooms and then have expansion to 11 exam rooms. Thought we could maybe we can get 12 out of it. But all of the support space really takes up, like, you need a full waiting room for everything, and you need support space for the nursing staff and the providers in there. So it ends up being about, you think 50-50, but it's probably like 75-25 almost.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Stephen, when I was reading through, there was some questions about the size of the parking in the parking lot.
Sure.
Can you go over that real quick?
Yeah, so the certificate of survey from the variance in December lays out the proposed parking stalls, all of which are out in front of the business here and were incorporated into that analysis for the variance. The parking stalls as depicted don't allude to any exclusivity, and so it would be then implied that they're to be shared with the other tenants for the expansion project. So that would be something to weigh in on for consideration, and could be mitigated by scheduling these appointments out. Obviously, you may have some same day care that you're providing as proposed. That would just have to factor into that shared relationship with your tenants and or other tenants in that, so.
Is the plan that the staff would be parking in the same parking lot, or would they be going to a different location?
Well, that's probably a good thing that we'll probably have to work out with Andy. Okay. Come on up to the hot seat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can we just keep your name for the record?
You bet. My name is Amy Hart, H-A-R-T. I'm the CEO for Cuyuna Regional Medical Center. And in some of our conversations with Andy and crew, we will be steering our folks to wherever the employee parking area is for the folks that work at Schaefer's.
Okay.
The other thing regarding parking is that we also have requested a numerous number of the handicap spots be located in front of our clinic. I know that there's a formula for the number of handicap spots that you need, and so just being able to put several of those in front of our location. So we don't want them to look like they're reserved. Anyone can park there, but they would be for handicap spaces.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Down here?
Nothing else.
I have a question for the group, if I could, and that I don't know if it's yours to answer, but when will an actual address, do you folks determine that, the actual, I know we have plots, but we have 23XXX. Is that something that this group decides?
I can speak to that. Yeah,
Okay.
so I had a couple conversations with Andy, Monty, and folks at the county today regarding address assignment for this use. What was discussed is sharing that primary address that is assigned to Spirits of Nisswa, and then establishing suites for each of these units within that structure. For example, one way of doing addressing is establishing a range and providing yourself some flexibility in between those ranges. Could be proposed that Spirits of Nisswa becomes a secondary address assignment of Suite 100, for example. I say for example, because I don't want to say that that's what you have to do, but that's one method that we could do outside of this is Suite 100 for Spirits of Nisswa, Suite 200 for the next unit, 300, and maybe 400 for the CRMC suite. If that's the direction that if the landowner and the group wants to do, then I can submit a maintenance request to the county to update GIS and their E911 service system for emergency services so that, say there's an ambulance that gets called to one of these units, then the emergency services personnel know exactly where to go. So that could be something that I can submit to them as soon as tomorrow. I just need to know what the group wants for those sequencing of suite numbers.
Okay, and maybe we could meet after, I just want to say it's incredibly important. We can't apply for any of the insurance or Medicare certifications or anything like that without a physical address. And so maybe if we can take a moment and decide that, and then they can let you know, that'd be really great. Thank you.
Okay. If there's no more questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of lost one. I got those. These is one of the numbers. I'll move for approval of conditional use permit application 004-26 to seek a conditional use permit to operate a clinic within the highway business zoning district. Again, subject property located as described in the proposal. This will be all according to the findings of fact as presented in the planner's report, the plan submitted, and the conditions that are attached thereto, and there's 7 of them at this point. I don't know if I didn't hear of anything number 8, so.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And then we can partner up tomorrow, I believe, if that works for you guys.
Post office, that's safe.
Okay.
So
We can loop them in if we need to. So the address verification form from the county would certainly assist the post office.
I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to new business, there is none. Old business, there is none. City planners report.
Thank you, Chairman. So we have, since the last meeting, 6 permits that have been issued, for single-family residents, the sewer connection. One of them was an after-the-fact shoreline alteration permit, seeking compliance on an enforcement action that we were working on. Then we had couple decks, a sign, so those are, sign permits are still coming in, and I'm having day-to-day conversations around sign ordinance and things like that. Which leads me to the next segue. I am close to finishing the red line version of the ordinance revision, incorporating feedback from this body and city council. For submission to the DNR for their preliminary approval, and then we can kick a public hearing off for reviewing that and getting into the weeds of those alterations. Happy to discuss that with you guys if you'd like to dive into what those alterations look like, or as a body or individual.
Do you think when you send it off to the DNR, you can send it to the commission just so they can look at it prior to a meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay, any other questions, comments?
Yeah,
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries, meeting is adjourned.
Quick one. Think I wasn't late.
Yes, it would be over.